Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bartel's Money Talk. I'm Johnny.
And I am Teresa. You want to stay for this episode? We have Mr. Big with us, Big Vic. Y'all, he is a big deal on YouTube. We are trying to help you make some money. And if you want to make some money with a side hustle, or if you want to change your career and be your own boss and determine how much money you want to make, you need to stay here and listen to Mr. Vic. So, Mr. Big, tell us who you are and what you are about.
So my name is Victor Big Vic Newton. I am a retired barber of 28 years. I now reside in right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I run Newton Ventures LLC, which is my logistics company, trucking business. I also have a media company, 2026 Multimedia Studio, where we have basically a production house of videography and photography. But that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And I run a YouTube channel. Big Vic TV is the channel. And on my channel, I teach people how to start a trucking business, more specifically in the box truck industry, right? There's so many different pockets of trucking, so many different ways that people can earn income in the trucking industry, whether you're dispatching, whether you're a broker, whether you have you become an owner operator by starting your own authority. So I kind of help people navigate that space and kind of help them map out more so a game plan to be able to make some money for themselves and their families.
You want to do the question or you want me to pop the
You
first
go the
one?
first one.
Look,
Go ahead.
look, Dick, I have to tell you, he'll take it. Oh, you can pop some questions. So, so this one, so say we have someone that's listening, they are in debt, they broke, and they
Mm,
trying to figure out how to make some extra money. And they got like a regular job, 8 to 4, 9 to 5.
okay.
Can you tell the listeners what the qualifications are to be able to drive the
Okay.
box part, the box truck?
Okay. Well, some people basically you don't have to have a CDL. That's first and foremost. So if your truck is under gross vehicle weight of 26,000 pounds, it does not require you to have a CDL to operate that vehicle or start your company with, in the non-CDL space. So that's more so like my demographic of people. A
Mm-hmm.
majority of the people that come in this business don't have a commercial driver's license, right? So that's the first thing that piques their interest. Like, okay, wait a minute. All I have to do is get a truck, go set up my own authority, and I can start making money. Right. So that's the first attractive signal for most people that look at what I'm doing. And basically, you go out, you can go out, get your authority, start your own authority. That typically costs you about $300 to get your motor carrier authority through the FMCSA, their website. A few more other things. Of course, you have to get commercial insurance. Some people start off renting trucks. I don't personally recommend people to start off renting, but people have to start how they can start because those rental trucks will take a lot of your profit in the beginning. So I definitely recommend trying to finance a truck, go to an auction, go to Facebook Marketplace, to find someone that is selling a truck. So that's kind of like my my advice more so.
Okay.
So, Big, you mentioned authority. Could you
Yes.
explain that a little bit? What's the authority when you mention that?
Okay, so basically a motor carrier authority that is through the FMCSA,
Mm-hmm.
and that's basically if you see trucks that pass by on the interstate, right? You have a US dot number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that motor carrier number is the number that signifies that you can move freight from state to state,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Oh,
if you have a US dot number only, you can only move freight in your state. You can't move that freight outside of the state. So the motor carrier number allows you to move, book freight with different shippers or through brokers and move
Mm-hmm.
that freight all over the U.S. and Canada, right?
oh,
So that's basically what the motor carrier authority is. It's the number that you will have to display on the side of your truck. It typically takes it's about a 21 to 24-day process
Mm-hmm.
for the FMCSA to give you one of those numbers after you pay
Mm-hmm.
your $300. But that, in a nutshell, that's what that is. It allows you to move freight from state to state. So
Okay.
each owner operator or authority is issued one of those numbers, and without that number, basically you can't move any freight uh, across your state line.
nice. Okay. So the first thing I like is You said you don't have to really pay to get that number is $300.
That's it.
And then pretty much once you get your number and get you a truck, you're able to start the process of really transporting loads from state to state or wherever. So when you start that process, how can you like acquire your first load once you get all of that? You get your actual authority and your truck. How can you go about getting your first load to start making that extra income?
Okay, well, there's definitely the most known way that most people that start off in the business, what they typically do is there's companies that have they call them load board, right?
Okay.
You look at companies like DAT.com, Truck Stop, 123 Load Board. These are different load boards that people can generally go get a subscription with, pay a monthly subscription, and on those load boards are brokers that connect carriers with shippers and freight, right? So that broker is like the middleman. So when you reach out to the broker, typically when you're a brand new authority, it is a little tougher now. They've made it a lot tougher now for a new person to just go buy a truck and start booking freight. Now you will run into brokers that will let you run their freight with a newer authority, but typically they generally like you to be 90 days old, have a 90-day old authority, some 60 days, some 6 months, some a year. Companies like Amazon Relay used to allow you to go buy a truck and then set up and get your company set up with them like immediately. But they changed their requirements to 180 days now. So your authority has to be 6 months to start running Amazon Relay freight. But there is sort of like a hack to a lot of that. Now, if you do know someone with an aged authority, they can allow you to lease on to their company's authority with your new authority for a percentage of the pie,
Oh,
right?
Okay, that's
So that may be someone saying, okay, hey, I'll allow you to run under my company's authority. We do still a 20-80 split on the loads, right? But that also allows you to come in right now and start making money and not have to worry about the age of your authority and what brokers may tell you no because your authority is too new.
ah, that's
Yeah,
that's
so
smart
yeah,
actually.
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it is because whoever would have thought of that? You could just
Yeah.
piggyback off of somebody that you know
That's
and they
right.
trust you, and then
That's
y'all
right.
get the money, and that's still better than having no
That's
money.
better than nothing. You
Right.
Right.
said it.
Wait,
Anything beats a
it's
blunt.
up.
Especially when you just invested your money in a truck, you just invested your money in starting your authority, getting all the other small details and paperwork taken care of and putting that down payment on that commercial insurance because that commercial insurance can run you anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 down just to
Oh,
start. And you have to have that first before your authority can even go active. So that insurance plays a major role in you starting up your authority.
okay. And so, with your experience, Vic,
Hmm.
if we got like a newbie, what is the average hourly rate for someone that may go and work for like at a Home Depot driving their trucks or whatever?
Typically they don't typically do any. They don't really do hourly. They
Mm-hmm.
pay per load. So
Okay.
for
See,
for
that's good news.
example, yeah. So for example, let's say you did get a contract, and it all depends on the broker that you're working with, or if you're working directly with a company like Lowe's, or say you're
Mm-hmm.
working with one of those apps. You may They may ping your phone with a load that pops up that may be available to you to book. The load may be going 20 miles, but it may also be paying, anywhere from $200 to $250 just for taking something 20 miles. Very
Mm-hmm.
light. And all you're doing is you may have to go to Lowe's, they load your truck up, or you may have to load the truck at a Lowe's. I'm just using that as an example, at a Lowe's, and then you may have to deliver that and drop that at the customer's, residence, or it could be a business. But something like that could range anywhere from a couple of $100 to $400 or $500.
And that's what
And
that could be only 20 miles
and that,
down the road. You done
right, and
made
that's just local. Right, that's just something local. Now, when you start talking about going over the road, going OTR, and really being out there, then that's a different ball game. That's also a different pay scale. That's a whole different uh way that you could make money uh going over the road in your truck.
Okay. And what type of characteristics does a box truck driver need?
Uh, First and foremost, you definitely need to you definitely need to have a positive attitude. That's first and foremost. Uh,
Okay.
positive attitude for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you definitely need to be motivated, right? Someone that's hungry. That's the number one. You definitely have to be hungry. Like this has to be something that uh you really want to do. Not only that, but if you're the type of person that wants to get paid to see the world, this will be perfect for you, right? If you're the type of person that's saying, "Hey, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to be my own boss." This is perfect for that person, right? So, I definitely recommend the industry to most people because it's one of those industries that's not going anywhere, even though the rates go up and down depending on the market that you may be moving freight in. Like the Midwest may have better rates than the East Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
The South may have lower rates than the Midwest,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you decide to take freight all the way over to California and bring freight all the way back over here, then that could be a system that you develop. So everybody kind of like who comes in this business kind of finds their own lane, right? They'll get a truck and say, "Hey, I'm gonna move some Amazon freight at nighttime, and then I may catch some local loads in the daytime, right? To where you may have a truck making $1,000 a day, right? Or more. Just depends on what freight you decide to move. So like it's gonna be different for everybody. It's gonna be different for everybody. You have some people that don't want to really leave home. They want to stay local. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a different mindset that a person has to have. You have some people that just do only third shift loads. Some people get contracted freight uh from different shippers or direct shipper freight, which where you actually cut out the middleman, which is the broker, right? Because the broker is the one who connects the shipper and the
Mm-hmm.
carrier.
Okay.
So it can get deep, it can get technical, but it can definitely work when you study, the industry, when you kind of like just sit back and study and see exactly which lane makes sense for you.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds logical. So, like,
Hmm.
Big Vic, is it possible though for someone to get a part-time job doing that for someone else to make
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. So on average, I'll say this. There's different carriers out there. Carriers are always looking for drivers. First and foremost, they're always looking for drivers. Typical, for example, with my company, if someone comes to work for my company, and let's say I put them on an Amazon relay contract, and that's either 5 day or 6 day contract. Those loads typically run. They may start at 10 p.m. and run all the way to 5, 6 in the morning, or it may start at 12 midnight, or it may start at two in the morning and run
Mm-hmm.
until 5 or 6. So I'm typically paying a person anywhere from $125 to $150 a night or a morning, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's 5, 6 days a week. So if someone's the type of person that doesn't mind, doing a little work, running at night where there's really no traffic out there, and they learn the system, that's a cool $900 a week extra.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
pretty.
When you got that, you
That's
ain't got no money.
yeah.
There
That's
you
pretty
go.
good.
$3,600 a month before
Hey,
taxes.
there you
That's
go. There you go.
that's
There
pretty
you
good.
go. Yeah, yeah,
It is.
yeah.
And you know what we did not do? And I think this will encourage someone. Vic, we didn't ask you what your story is. How did you get
Oh,
into your own
how did
box
I start?
box truck?
Okay, so I started how I got into the industry. I was looking at YouTube. This was during COVID, right? So everybody was kind of like home. Everybody was home, like
Mm,
watching YouTube or just watching something. You wasn't at work, that's for sure. Right. So
mm-hmm,
everybody was just kind of like killing time. And I'm watching YouTube and I'm see I watched this guy who was running Amazon relay freight. I looked at his title. It read box truck owner operator earns makes $20,000 in a month. And I'm like, what? $20,000 in a month? Let me click this video and see what in the world how in the world did he make 20 G's in a month? So I watched the video and I'm like, interesting. I'm watching and I heard him say a key word in that video. He did not have a CDL. I said, wait a minute. I'm looking, I'm looking, wait a minute. He didn't have a CDL. Okay, tell me more. So I'm watching, I'm listening. I'm like, wait a minute. So he's running Amazon Relay right there in Atlanta. We got Amazons all over. I was in Columbia, South Carolina. I had a house in Columbia, South Carolina at the time, and there was an
mm-hmm.
Amazon like 1 mile from my house.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Tell
1 mile from
story.
my house. So I ended up start doing a little more research after watching his video. He put out a video showing exactly what you needed to do to start your own authority. I'm like, okay, that's pretty simple. Okay, $300. I'm on the website applying for my authority. I'm like, I gotta find a truck now. So I ended up finding my truck, my first truck, off of the Facebook Marketplace for like 10 grand.
Mm.
The guy sent me a video showing me the truck running, and it was ran by the U.S. That particular truck was ran by the U.S. Postal Service, and after it gets so many miles, they sell their trucks off. So this truck just happened to have 500,000 miles on the dash.
Ooh.
I went and bought that truck in Orlando, Florida. Me and the wife drove down, and I asked the guy, did he have any paperwork on it? You know, previous history of maintenance work that may have been done to it. He told me yes. I get there, of course, no paperwork. So I'm walking around the truck. I'm like, I hope this truck makes it back home because I'm ready to get my business up and running. So I
Mhm.
took a chance on that truck with 500,000 miles, and it absolutely changed my life. Changed
Well,
my life.
so
Oh, you give me
so
goosebumps.
so
Oh,
so right there,
Vic, that's a good story.
right there. I like the part we say it changed your life.
Absolutely.
So can we expand
Oh,
on that a little bit about
Mhm.
changing your life? Because I think the viewers need to understand what do you mean by it changed your life.
please do
So,
tell.
so when I first got that truck, I got it back to Columbia, South Carolina, and I put temporary insurance on the truck to drive it back from Orlando back to Columbia. Then I actually called my Progressive. I had my agent connect me with Progressive Commercial Insurance. We got the commercial insurance. I was still at the barbershop at the time, so I'm cutting hair and I'm waiting to get set up. Matter of fact, let me rewind it back a little bit. I parked the truck. My brother passed away, so I had to go up to Connecticut. And while I'm at the funeral, I get a notification that, hey, you just we your Amazon Relay account just got accepted. So my account got accepted. I head back down. I get on their load board. I book my first load for like $600. I think that took me from Columbia, South Carolina, right to Port Wentworth, Georgia, right there in Savannah. And I think that it was like $650. I got excited. I said, wait a minute, $650. I'm still at the barbershop at this time. So I get back to the shop. I'm cutting hair. I'm looking back at the Amazon Relay load board to see if any loads popping up. I see one pop up for $500. And I'm sitting there cutting a $35 head. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I gotta make a decision. I got to make a decision. I'm already ready to retire. I've already been doing this thing 28 years. I bought this truck so that I can eventually move into this full time. And I threw the towel in with the Clippers. I said, listen, I told my clients, I said, I got another month left and I'm gonna go ahead and retire and take this trucking thing full time. I'm gonna go ahead and get serious with this thing, right? Because I already invested 10 grand in there. Matter of fact, I got a personal loan from Navy Federal for $13,500 that covered my down payment for my commercial insurance, the 10,000 I paid cash for the truck, and I was all in at that point, right? So I took a risk, made a decision, went full time, and started booking them loads with Amazon Relay. My first week, I want to say I made about $2,300. The week after that, I ended up doing almost close to $3,000. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I had never made that type of money that fast. And it was my first time driving a truck. So I wasn't a truck driver, right? I was a businessman, period. Listen, so I got so excited, and my wife rode with me on a couple of runs, and I was like, "Can you believe I'm getting like $750 for this run?" Because I did a run from Columbia, South Carolina to Raleigh, North Carolina. I did that run several times,
Mhm.
and I just got so excited, and I started sharing my journey on YouTube. That's when things really started going into motion because prior to that, I was, into music production. I was teaching people how to produce music on my YouTube channel. And people started getting more interested in seeing what I was doing in that truck than my music production videos on my YouTube channel. And I'm like, wait a minute, people are really liking this trucking stuff. So I started sharing my journey of what I was doing in the trucking space. And believe it or not, My first, I made my first six figures in a nutshell when I got in that truck and combined that with my YouTube journey and started growing this whole following on YouTube, and that turned into six figures about every single year after that. Like, so it's been an amazing journey to be able to start teaching people and coaching people in this space on this whole box truck business thing, and it's really changed my life. It really changed my life. This is not too much more I can say about that, but it's changed my life.
So Big Vic. So
Yes.
so let me tell you, this reminds me of something. This saying here: change the way you pay, change your life. And so that's what you just described here to the audience. you
Hmm.
changed the way it was paid, and it changed your life completely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta you have to you have to do something different if you want something different. You have to. You have to do something different if you want something different. See, if I would have continued to do the same thing, I would have kept getting the same thing.
That's right.
See, you can't expect something different doing the same thing. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting different results.
It
Right.
is.
So I did something different, and it really changed things for me. I never thought it would be, I never would, you never could have told me I would have been in the trucking industry. And that would be that's what would have built up my audience on my YouTube channel and put me with all these sponsors and being in commercials and just doing all the stuff that I'm doing now through trucking. I'm like, trucking? You serious right now? But just the content alone has changed so many people's lives that got inspired by what I've been doing in this trucking space, and just seeing where I started at and where I'm at now in my journey. And people are just like, well, whoa, we can do this too. Right. So I now run into so many people that see me, and thankful that they watch my content, inspired them to go out and start their own box truck businesses. Or some of people that are in my program, they got box trucks, semi trucks now, got a whole fleet of trucks, and they're just doing phenomenally well. And it's just by watching my content, it's like, wow, it's amazing the lives that I've impacted, the families that I've helped, change their whole trajectory of what they thought was possible.
Yeah, I'm like, that is so sweet. So I got to get myself together off that because really, yeah, I didn't expect for the interview to go this way. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's why we here. Like, you didn't set out to do this. You had no plans in 2019 to get no box truck, right?
Mm-mm, not at all. Not at
That
all. Not at
wasn't the
all.
plan. But
Mm-mm.
you stepped out on faith, and you took a risk. You got a loan.
Yes.
You had no idea how this was going to turn
I
out.
didn't. I didn't.
But look how it has turned out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got me,
Yeah.
big. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
then my next thing is like, you have people working for you. Like,
Yeah.
how difficult is that? What's that process? Because I'm like, I might be can convince him to let's get in your program and buy us a box and
Yeah.
get us some drivers.
Yeah.
So can you
So
explain that program in case somebody maybe they want to do the box truck thing, but they don't want to do it. They want to hire somebody else to do it.
so basically, let's say for example, if so what I'll say this for people that have gotten involved in my program. Basically, what I've done is I've kind of taken them from A to Z, right? So let's say someone says, "Hey, we want to we want to get us a truck. We want to come through your program. We want to be able to lease onto your authority. Once we do get our truck, we want to put a driver in our truck, right? And we want to move freight. Let's say if it's in Texas, and we want to run some contracts out here." So I just came back from Memphis, Tennessee. I was training one of my mentorship clients out there to run an Amazon relay contract. But the system is designed in a way that will allow people that know absolutely nothing about this industry, nothing about this business, to show them, hey, this is the type of truck you should be looking at, kind of walking you through that process. And if you decide to say, hey, we want to put a driver in our truck, we want to put that truck over the road, or hey, we want to keep it local. We want to maybe move Amazon relay freight right here in our backyard with our truck with a driver in it, right? All of that is a possibility that can happen. And it's just as simple as that. That's kind of like what I do now in my program. I do have drivers that I hire, every now and again. But I work more so with clients that also put drivers in their trucks, or they themselves are driving their trucks and kind of learning the process until so that they can put someone in the driver's seat, and kind of it's kind of like hands off for them at that point.
So, do you still own your box truck company, or
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
So you do that, and
Correct.
also you program,
Yes. So I have two. I still own two box trucks.
and you don't drive them no more, though, do you?
Uh, I do. I do. Every now and
He
again, I
Do
do.
you
I
really
do.
still drive?
So I do jump in my truck every now and again. I will run some freight. But right now I'm still in the process of hiring two more drivers right now. To put them on the contracts in my trucks. But I have so one of my trucks was being run for probably like a year. I had a driver in one of my trucks. He was running Amazon Relay before I was. He was actually one of my barber clients, and he was running the freight before I was. He was the one showing me his Amazon Relay checks every week while I was cutting his hair, and I was like, "Oh, really? That's what you made this week? How many times you ran freight?" So Amazon has these peak seasons that come up where their freight just pays ridiculous money for running short runs, and it was he was also one of the factors that showed me proof of concept that this really works.
I'm trying not to be
Yeah,
speechless. My
yeah.
husband need to tell you it take a lot to get me quiet, but
And,
I'm almost speechless at this.
but I like that you had a proof of concept that somebody was showing you, hey, this really works, and then on top of that, you found the YouTube video that showed you like, hey, anybody can do this because you don't need a CDL.
I don't need a CDL.
And,
I don't need a CDL.
That is good. But now, before we let you go, can you tell the audience, explain what your program is?
So my program, my box truck, I have two programs. I have my box truck Freedom Academy. That's basically kind of like a self-paced program, video modules that shows you how to set up your authority. If you don't have a business bank account, shows you how to get all that stuff set up. It's kind of like takes you from A to Z. Like you can go and search different videos and watch 100 videos on YouTube, or you can come through my program. I have everything already laid out. Some people like structure. That's why I put that program together for the people that don't have the time to go through a whole bunch of YouTube videos trying to search every single thing to
Hmm.
figure out. And a person that is, procrastinator, that stuff will stop them from getting started.
yeah,
Right. So
Hmm.
oh yeah,
people just want a laid out program. So I have the Box Truck Freedom Academy. That's available. But then I have my 12-week mentorship program. Right. And my 12-week mentorship program, that's a 5K program. But in that program, that's the one that allows you to lease onto my authority, allows you to move Amazon Relay Freight under my authority. Also, you work one-on-one with me. I actually train you uh, before you do go out and venture into running an Amazon Relay contract, because Amazon Relay grades us with a performance score, right? So with that performance score, you have to keep that score up high to see their best freight, right?
Hmm.
So if you're A+ carrier with them, you all the everything is opened up to you. Everything opens up to you, right?
Hmm.
Their contracts, their auctions, their load board freight. They call you when they have certain loads that need to be moved, that pay very, very well. But that's my mentorship program. But anyone who's in my mentorship program, I automatically enroll them into my Box Truck Freedom Academy. There, I also have a private Facebook group where we do monthly Zoom calls. So anyone has questions, Q&As, I get on there with my mentorship clients, and we just kind of bounce ideas off each other. If they're dealing with anything, we talk about it on that call. So that's my program in a nutshell.
You got
nice.
anything else you want to hit with Big?
No, but I mean that's pretty amazing that you started from you
Started from
just
the bottom.
from the
From the
bottom,
Now we're here.
zero.
and now we're here.
And look, and I'm so sorry for like the people
Oh,
who lost loved ones in COVID and all of that.
Absolutely.
COVID,
it
it
was a
did
big
it
deal.
worked for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was the time when so many people just some people lost money, some people made money. Some people got lazy, some people got rich.
Oh yes, that's the truth.
That's a
I have
fact.
read plenty of stories. Big, that's true.
For real. And I mean, it's been such, you guys have no idea. It's been such a blessing. I just came back from an Amazon Relay event out in Vegas. And if you would have seen the amount of people that I met that was actually at that event because they watched my videos and got in the business and the stories I heard, just the accolades that they were giving me upon me meeting them, it got kind of overwhelming because I was like, wow, are you serious? They're like, we're here because of you. Did you know that? I'm like, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
And then what make it so what makes it so good about you is that even though you are as big as you are such a very humble guy.
Yeah.
Like you don't walk around with your nose.
Yeah.
You're very humble and kind.
You would
So
never
for
know it.
sure.
you would never know
Never
it.
know it.
So I just believe because of who you are and the way that you are, God gonna continue to make your blessings just gonna keep,
Absolutely.
Yes.
and you're gonna keep blessing others.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
so, yeah,
Yes.
like because this is Bartel's Money Talk, and we're trying to enrich people's lives. And so, because
Absolutely.
you're blessed with all this wisdom, before we let you go, can you give some words of advice or encouragement to our audience to step out on faith with this box
Sure.
truck?
Sure. Well, this is what I will say. You can do what you're currently doing. You know, this probably won't be for everybody, but it's for people that are looking for a change, right? You never know the thing that could actually set you free, right? Because I didn't know that this would be my thing. I thought it would be the music business, to be honest with you. You know, because I was producing for artists and I was working with Jermaine Dupri at one time and, for 4 years and producing music for artists. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a studio in my house. I'm just gonna be producing and making all this money. And who would have known I would jump in the truck and be sharing that journey, turn my camera on and look back and people would start saying, hey, I want to do that right there. Hey, could you
Yeah.
teach me? Could you show me what you did? Right. And to be honest, I had no plans on creating a course until the audience asked me for one. I had no desire to create a mentorship program until they asked for it, right? So when I created those things, that also contributed to, my success in being able to help other people. I learned
Mhm.
something. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want.
That's
Ooh,
Zig
say that.
Ziglar. Zig
that's a
Ziglar.
word.
Zig
Say it again.
Ziglar. Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want.
Man,
So,
big.
yeah, and that's all I've been doing is helping people get what they want. And what I've learned is the person who can solve the most problems can make any type of money that they ever desired to make beyond their wildest dreams. Everything is about solving problems. If you can solve a problem, you can make a lot of money.
Vic, I don't even want to let you go. I think you just keep talking to me, keep
Said, keep
listening.
going. Just keep rolling.
Yes.
That was so
Yeah.
good. No, well, we
Just
gonna
that
keep
one.
rolling because we gonna have to have you come back
Yeah.
in 2025.
Yeah, because
What's
I
say? I'll
think
be right here. Hopefully, God willing, I'll be here.
I think that's I mean this right here alone to figure out how to make your own income stream that can also lead you to another level
Absolutely.
I expect.
that you didn't even expect.
Man, unexpected, unexpected, unexpected. It was like, I still have to pinch myself. I really do have to pinch myself because I'm like, this is still like, I'm in disbelief a lot of times, but I'm like, you know what? I did something. I did this exercise. I want to leave your audience with this. This is something that I did. And believe it or not, I definitely believe in the tongue. I believe in speaking what you want into existence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote down, I grabbed a book, wrote down my ideal day. And this is an exercise that everybody that's watching can do. Get you a book, get you a tablet, get you whatever you want to write it in. I like to write because when you write it down, the Bible says write it down and make it plain.
That's what it
Amen.
says.
Write it
Okay.
down and make it plain.
Yep.
See, you have to, I wrote out my ideal day, right? From the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. I wrote everything out. And believe it or not, about 98% of what I wrote down in that book, in my journal, on how I wanted my ideal day to be manifested. It came to me. I said I would walk out onto my balcony overlooking the city And I kid y'all not. I went and I looked in that book. My eyes filled up with so much water because I could not believe how much of that stuff that I wrote down in that book was actually manifested into my life. And I was like, the word is so powerful. Your words are so powerful. Life and death is in the tongue. And I hear so many people say, you know what? I'm broke. I said, no, don't say that. You're not broke. You're just in between blessings.
There it is.
You just in
There.
between blessings. You listen, you listen, what you talk about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. Right? So you got to speak. Listen, money has people don't understand that money has ears.
Oh, yes, it
Money
does.
has ears. Money can
Yeah.
hear when you're talking bad about it or when you're
Mm,
talking good about it.
mm-hmm.
It can hear. I'm telling y'all now, it can hear. Money has ears. You got to call money to you sometimes. You got to
Ooh,
call it to you sometimes. You cannot be talking about you don't have. Listen,
guarantee you.
poverty, listen, poverty is a mindset.
Yes, it
Poverty
is.
is a mindset. You change your life when you change your mind. And that's what I did. Listen, I've been developing myself for years. When I was in those network marketing companies, I was listening to personal development. My vehicle was a rolling university. So I changed my mindset. I changed how I think. I changed how I talk, right? Because what's in you will eventually come out.
That's
That's
right.
right.
See, if you're not inputting no new information, you can't put you can't put nothing out there.
That's
Something has
right.
to go in order to put something out there. So
That's right.
listen, I've been working on myself for a long time. So it was kind of an easy transition for me to get into this business world and be able to communicate with people because most of what I do is communication,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you can communicate well to people, it's the rest is history. The rest is history. But anything is possible. Listen, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You can have whatever it is you desire on this earth. You can have whatever it is you desire on this earth. I think
Big.
you deserve it. I think everybody deserves to have what they want.
That's right.
But you know what, Big Vic, what you said, and this is the key. You got to change your mindset. If
That's
your
the first
mindset
thing.
is not right, then guess what? Anything that your mindset is not right, you cannot obtain.
No,
Because you
sir.
won't be speaking and you won't be able to see it. You won't have a vision on it.
Got
So
to. You got to. You got to. You got to. You got to. If you can listen, if you can see it in your mind, you
mm,
can hold it in your hand.
mm,
If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you can, if most people can close their eyes, see themselves on the beach, see the water flowing, they can see that. If you can hold on to that picture, don't think about where you're at right now. Don't think about your current situation. If you can project, it's like a movie. If you can see your future movie playing in the back of your mind, if you can hold on to that, I promise you, everything you want will come right to you faster than you can believe it. Things will just start happening. See, when you speak that stuff out into the universe, things start happening. People you don't even know that are going to show up for you will start showing up. Believe me, you'll start running into the right people. You'll be like, wait a minute, how? Yeah, the universe heard you. The universe heard you. But if you don't speak it, if you don't put it out there, nothing is coming. You got to put that out into the universe. You got to start walking different, talking different, thinking different. All of these different things in combination can absolutely change your life. See, people thinking about hitting lottery and scratch offs. Listen,
no,
Waste of
no,
money.
everything
that's
you want,
no.
everything you want is in between your ears. Everything you want is right here in between your ears. And I almost guarantee you, if you believe it, you can achieve it. It may sound cliche, but believe me, I'm living proof. I am living proof.
And you know what's funny? Baby, see, now you're gonna make me go another route here. Because the funny thing about it is God already gave you everything that you need
You better believe it.
to prosper.
You better
You already
believe it.
have everything that you need to
Yeah,
prosper. But
it's
you
already in you.
it's
It's
already in you.
already in you. It's already in you. People don't understand we are created in his image. So if you are
Yeah.
created in his image, shouldn't you be able to perform some of those same tasks? Shouldn't you be able to manifest and call things to you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yes.
think people understand who they really are.
Well,
They don't
I,
understand who they really are.
I think you said the key thing.
They don't understand if you really truly understood who you really are and what you are really made of and capable of doing, you will be calling so many things to you. But see, people get so caught up and focused on the right now, where
Mm-hmm.
their current situation is. You cannot focus on right here and pull the future to you. See, people don't understand. They got to go ahead and start borrowing from their future. They're not doing that right now. You got to go ahead and borrow from your future right now. That's what you got to start thinking about. Lock that thought into your head. Go to sleep thinking about it. I'm talking about go look at that house. I'm talking about go drive that car that you're thinking about that you know you deserve to have. Go sit in it. Go tell the dealer, look, I'm coming to buy this very soon. Let me go ahead and get the keys. Let's go ahead and take this thing around the block. You got to sit in your vision. Oh, I just said something.
That was just powerful. There, sit in your vision.
You better sit in that vision. Listen. I'm gonna tell y'all one last story. This gonna wrap up. This gonna put everything into a nice present for everybody.
Okay.
I remember when I opened up my studio, my photography studio, and we walk in. I'm looking at the building. I'm like, yeah. I said, I think this would be perfect, right? To the real estate guy, and he's like, okay, this is the guy that was leasing me out the building. So I get in there, and I said, I'm seeing everything. I'm like, okay, I can put this there. I'm gonna put that over there. I'm gonna bring this piece of equipment right there. I'm gonna paint the walls this color right here. And the realtor, he's just trying to get me in there. Long story short, we come after I get everything set up, I done took possession of the building. The realtor comes back in. He walks around. He's like, wow, man, I heard you talking when you came in and looked at the building, but I had no idea that it was gonna look this amazing in here. So the point is, everybody is not gonna see your vision. Everybody's not gonna see your vision. That's your vision. So you can't go to different people saying, hey, what you think about this? Or what you think about that? That's your vision, not theirs. They're not gonna see that, right? So he could not see what was my vision. He couldn't see what was my vision. So I see this happen so many times where a person to say, yeah, I want to talk to, my homeboy, or I talk to my dad, or that's your vision. They're not supposed to see your vision. They're not going to see your vision. So if you see an opportunity that looks like it's going to work for you, don't get too many opinions, though, because people will shut down your dreams in a New York minute if you let them.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of dream stealers out there. There's a lot of vampires out there. They'll suck the life out of your dreams. I promise you, if you let them.
Yes. You have to be careful, man. They will discourage you.
You better be careful. Oh, listen. Listen. They will kill your dreams. You be like, you about to do what? Oh no, my uncle tried that. That didn't work. Well, that was your uncle. It wasn't me. Y'all know y'all heard that stuff before.
Yeah, we have. Well, Vic, this interview, listeners, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm sure you could tell it very, very, very impacted my life much.
Very powerful.
Yeah, so we got you off of the box truck, and we talking about some word up in here.
Yeah, it went down a
whole listen.
Whole different path.
Hey, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching.
So, Vic, thank you so much for joining.
Yes.
Bartel's Money Talk.
Thank you for having me.
You got.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell them.
Big Vic, can you please tell the audience how to reach you if they want to be able to reach you and get your mentorship program or just get your actual in your academy that you have? Can you tell me how to reach you?
So you can reach me at boxtruckfreedomacademy.com. That's one of my sites. You can also go to Big Vic TV. Any of my on YouTube, Big Vic TV. If you go to any of my most of my videos, down in the description box is a whole bunch of links with all of my ways to reach. I also do strategy sessions, consultations. You can reach me at calendly.com/Big Vic coaching. So I do 30-minute and hour sessions with people that may be interested in the business, have questions. That's more so the way to reach out to me through those means right there. So those are like my strategy session calls, so they can book me that way as well.
Okay.
Well, Big Vic, listen, I want to thank you again. This has been an amazing,
impactful
discussion, conversation.
Likewise.
Very impactful. So thank you for your time on Bartel's Money Talk, and we look forward to having this conversation with you again in the near future.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate y'all for having me on here.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, Big Vic.
Absolutely. All right. Talk soon.
All right.